Greetings, YouTube. I love a bargain. I've done many, many bargain videos here on my channel. And one of the places I love to go bargain hunting the most is at flea markets. Something that normally, when we're not in a apocalypse, begins at in April and goes through October. Every Sunday it's not raining, I'd be at a flea market. Sometimes in Hollis, New Hampshire, sometimes in Londonderry, New Hampshire, and sometimes up in Warner, New Hampshire. I was at Hollis, New Hampshire this morning. I found a few things. I found a deburring tool, and I found some tool handles that I can put on files. I already did that. Put them on one. And I've come to the very hard conclusion that I'm not sure I can go back. Why? Because the fascists are thick on the ground. And they're more and more naked about it. Everywhere you look, there's the MAGA hats and the big pro-GOP candidate signs endorsing the president. Some from 2016, but some current ones too. I had a guy tell me today, before I realized what his particular political agenda, that if I bought a pin, because he sells antique and vintage political pins, I'd get a free bumper sticker endorsing the president for re-election. And because a lot of these guys, and it's always guys, are very open about their positions, I just avoid them. If I see what their political agenda is, I just skip that booth and I keep right on going to the next one. I'm not giving my money to them. And some of them are caricatures. There's this one guy there. He's this big, muscular, bald guy with a beard, mustache, and he's always smoking a cigar, and he's like this incredibly hyper masculine dude. Wears a pistol in his belt every single time. Drives this big ass truck. I'm stunned he's not burning coal when he's driving that thing. And he's just this caricature of toxic masculinity. Deep, booming voice, probably helped by the fact that he's addicted to cigars. And I can see him and hear him endorsing these candidates and refusing to wear a mask, of course. And I remember one day I saw him, I'll shake your hand, and I'm thinking, yeah, because you don't understand epidemiology and don't seem to grasp that that contact right there can not just kill you, but all your loved ones. And this is one guy here, I've skipped him for a couple of years now, and he's very loud. He just voice just carries, and he calls a guy over and goes, here, I want to tell you something. I said, but I want to be quiet about it. And I just said, holy shit, because this guy is nakedly, openly racist. So if he needs to tell somebody something quietly, it's really fucking vile. And I've had it. I just can't in good conscience go there and be spending my money when so many of these people are conservatives. All the dealers are white. All of them. And I just don't trust white people anymore. I can't. It's too dangerous. They're too dangerous. The most dangerous demographic in America is white people. Well, the most dangerous, the billionaires. But right after the billionaires, who are also all white, are white people in general, particularly the ones supporting the president. They're deranged, they're ignorant, they're often heavily armed, they have no grasp of how the real world works, and they're deeply racists. Deeply racist. They have embraced fascism. They have taken the shit all over Americans' ideals and embraced fascism. They would rather hug the Nazi flag than the Constitution. They would rather endorse socially conservative theocracy than understand the values of the First Amendment when it's talking about the Establishment Clause and the concept of the separation of church and state. They're just too ignorant to understand what that means. They're too ignorant to understand how basic virus research works, and that those people that are experts that they deride while they'll listen to some Yahoo on Facebook or Twitter, those experts know what they're talking about on viruses, and their advice is important because they're right. And if we had followed their dictates, we wouldn't have 150,000 dead and millions of sick people. The hypermasculine guy I mentioned earlier today, I heard him as I'm walking by. It's like you can't not hear this guy when he talks. Saying he can't understand why they're not opening the school. He's like, only 6 kids have died from COVID so far. I actually have no idea how many kids have died of COVID in America at this point. I'm thinking it's probably more than 6. But would he be saying that if it was one of his? Or does it have to happen to him before he'll believe it's real? A little goddamn late for that now, isn't it? Why don't we just listen to the experts and understand it's real? Climate change is real. Racism is real. Misogyny is real. Homophobia and transphobia and religious xenophobia, they're all real. And white people are dangerous. And I cannot really go to flea markets anymore because of it. Because I was willing to turn a blind eye for about it too long. And as I'm leaving today, I saw this black father and son coming in. I almost wanted to stop and ask him, how do you put up with it? But the reality is they put up with it every goddamn minute of every goddamn day. So whether they're at a flea market putting up with the racism, and they're in their neighborhood putting up with the racism, or they're at school, or at work, or walking down the street, they're putting up with the same all the time. It isn't any different for them. And they don't have the privilege of ignoring it. And I did for a really long time. So now I can't. So I'll miss them. I had some good times. I met some decent people there. I enjoyed their companionship, but I won't be seeing them again. And that's sad. But it's not as sad as the worldview and the political agenda endorsed by those white people. That's dangerous. It's vile. And it runs against Americans' ideals.